Welcome back to the Own It Masterclass. We're here with session 3, planning how to create a winning self-image. So we're going through the 5 stages of manifesting this week. Ideas. If you don't generate new ideas, you won't have new thoughts, and your current thoughts will get you more of the same. So your second step is thoughts. And what we learned how to do yesterday was reframe and reprogram and rewire our brain, our thinking, and our thoughts so that we can be conscious co-creators and live life by design instead of defaults. Today is step 3. It's planning. And what I've decided to do planning with you guys instead of mapping out a plan for your goals, we're actually going to start with what's the most important: planning out your winning self-image. And we're going to talk all about today how your inner self-image is your own internal set point and own glass ceiling and how we can change it. And tomorrow we're back with action, step 4, because ideas and thoughts are in the ether. Planning and action are in the physical. So how do you bring it out of the ether into the physical? You put pen to paper and you build yourself a plan in your self-image and in your goal. And of course, we teach you all how to do all of that in depth inside the Own It Collective and inside our Success Principles Society. So you guys know that if you want to go deeper and work with us, we've sent you an invitation to come and join us inside the Own It Collective. We have new sign-up bonuses today for you that will be open until we do our orientation next week, and we'll share all about that with you at the end of the today. And tomorrow or on Friday, we're back with belief, which is building your belief in yourselves and your dreams and your goals and your ability to share and sell your gifts and your offers and your business and your opportunities. So not only are we going to teach you the art of sales on Friday, we are going to teach you how to sell you on your own dreams, which is one of my favorite things to do, because you've got to buy into your own dream. Otherwise, your excuses, reasons, and alibis are going to pull you out. And on Monday, I asked you guys to decide on your big, hairy, audacious goal, the thing that sets your soul on fire. What do you love doing the most? And as soon as you decide, because if you don't decide, nothing happens. So you decided, everyone's decided, they've burned the boats, they're all in. And as soon as you decide, the thoughts start to rob you. They start telling you all the reasons why you can't do it, how hard it is, how you're not good enough. And we asked yesterday and the day before that you were being observers of your thoughts, so that your thoughts were positive and on your hero story instead of on your victim journey and negative. Today, we are diving into the winning self-image. And just a reminder, today is the last study club. So we have a study club at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. You get to bring your workbook and get support with me for free. This is a bonus that you get inside the masterclass. And if you haven't booked your vision casting call yet, this is also a free gift for me for registering for the event. So it's a huge thank you. I appreciate that you were willing to bet on you, that you are willing to slow down to do the inner work, to speed up your results on the outside. And I know your time is one thing you don't get back. And so we really appreciate that you choose to spend it with us and to spend it betting on you. And so this vision casting call, we are going to dive into your goal and make it a SMART goal: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, with a timeline. We didn't talk about that yet this week, although we teach you that more in depth inside our programs. And then we're going to go into the state of the goal achieved, in which we asked you some questions about that on Monday to help you get into the state. And the state is different than the goal. The goal is what your goal you make with your conscious mind. And remember, yesterday I said your conscious mind is the goal setter. Your state is your physiological response that you're in, your point of attraction, which is triggered by your thoughts, which is often unconscious. And so your unconscious mind is the goal getter. And so you can set all the goals in the world, and until you start doing the work with the unconscious mind and rewrite your programming, you do have an upper limit and an internal set point that you will continuously bounce off of. And we're going to work on changing that today. On Sunday, we have the bonus recap session. So you're going to come back and catch all the Cole's notes of everything we've taught so far. And why I want to have this in for you is because we'll also have a Q&A, so you can come and ask questions for support. And also because throughout this entire masterclass, you'll notice I've repeated things a lot. Why? Because this is the principle of auto-suggestion, the spaced repetition of an idea or thought over time. This is because currently you've been auto-suggested by society, by culture, by well-meaning parents, by the environment you grew up in to be conditioned to be who you are today. So instead of living by default, we're going to start to live by design, and we're going to start to auto-suggest new beliefs and possibilities and affirmations and commands that are going to get us what we desire, and more of what we desire and less of what we don't. So without further ado, let's dive into today's workbook. First and foremost, we're going to pause and write our top 3 intentions, our top 3 desires for the year. So if I waved a magic wand and said you could be, do, or have whatever you wanted this year, could you tell me in fine detail what that is, what it looks like, how it feels like, by what time you're going to get it, how you'll know you'll have achieved it, and exactly what that future memory looks like? And if not, then you want to make sure you book that vision casting call, because that's exactly what we do. We make that future memory together. So I'm so thankful and grateful for you guys to be here today. So take a moment and write that down. I'm going to drop the workbook. If you just joined us in the Zoom room, I will drop the workbook here for you in the chat. You're going to make a copy, and then you have your own Google Doc with this entire workbook for you to fill out and for you to use over and over again. You heard from a couple people inside of our group programs yesterday. And as Renee said, you get this free workshop from us, which is quite high level. And so just imagine what you get inside working with us. Now you can do the work that's in the workbook, and you will most likely get incredible results. Or you could not. It's easy to do. It's also easier not to do. And it's totally up to you. And the more you do, the better your results will be. That's okay, Julia. We appreciate that you're here today. And I will also foresay that we do have some interesting weather. So hopefully everything will be perfect, whole, and complete with our internet here as well. So thank you so much for being here with us. So we just wrote down our top 3 desires for the year. You need to know what you want. Otherwise, you cannot have it. That's the first step. I asked you on Monday to decide. Decide, burn the boats. There is no plan B. There is no backup plan. This is the only way. And now we're going to dive into truly creating that winning self-image. So ask yourself, what do you truly want? And what do you believe is possible for you? So on Friday, we're going to work on building your belief. And so right now, I'm going to ask you, what do you believe is possible for you right now? And so this is going to start to identify some upper limits for you. Maybe you want to be a multimillionaire, and yet you only believe it's possible to be a millionaire. Or maybe you want to build a team, but you only believe it's possible to be a solopreneur. Maybe you want to launch a business, yet you only believe it's possible to be an employee. What are those upper limits? So start thinking about what you believe is possible for you. And the second question is, what level in your life and your business or career do you feel like you've reached those upper limits? So this is to help identify some of the glass ceilings that we've unconsciously set for ourselves. So what are some of those upper limits you feel like you've already hit and reached? And you want to start to look at every area of your life: finances, relationships, your business or career, leadership, your health, wealth, all the different areas, and social, all the different areas that are essential for your well-being and overall happiness and fulfillment. Look at a limit. How well are you in your social environment? How well do you do in your business environment, financially, with your health? And identify what those upper limits are. Maybe it's a set body weight. Maybe it's a set income. Maybe it's, traveling, whatever those upper limits are for you, I want you to identify them. So part of the transformation process requires us to first identify the current state. I heard Bob Proctor in one of his programs mention once that a lot of people, they say they wanted to go from Toronto to California and they wanted to fly there. And they can't seem to make the plan or get there because they think they're in Toronto, but they're actually all the way over there in Winnipeg. And they're trying to get to LA from Toronto, yet they actually first need to get from Winnipeg to LA. Does that make sense? Just give me a nod. So if you don't know where you actually are, what you're currently doing, what your current results are, and what your current upper limits are, you won't start from the right place, which has us in a state of lacking and seeking and wondering why we're not there yet. And maybe there's just a few more steps we need to take so we can go from Winnipeg to Toronto and then get to LA. Okay, so we're identifying what we believe is possible for us and the upper limits that we think we've reached. So now that you know what those upper limits are, I want you to use the reframing exercise from yesterday and simply just switch it. What would you prefer? So the upper limit is set at 6 figures. You'd really prefer it to be at 7 figures. Your upper limit is you can only lift 100 pounds and you'd like to lift 150. Maybe your upper limit has been you've only had 50 clients at a time and you'd like 100. Maybe your upper limit has been you being an employee or having a different type of business, and now you want to have a business or a different type of business. And that is a new paradigm shift. It's a new belief shift to go from one to the other. And so what you want to do is now just simply switch it and say what you would prefer. So I would prefer to be a millionaire. I would prefer to have 100 new clients. I would prefer to be this ideal body weight. I would prefer to have this type of relationships. I would prefer to have this type of community surrounding me. And really starting to look at what it is that you would prefer. So this helps you identify your current state, your upper limits, and then flip it and reframe it to what you prefer. And so just a reminder throughout this entire masterclass, your number one job is to stay in a state of possibility, joy, and gratitude, and stay in the state and the feeling of the goal achieved. And so I had mentioned that it's important for you to stay in the state of the goal achieved, because if you can do that for about 72 hours, you can really switch your point of attraction. So for about 3 days, the length of this masterclass, if you could just harvest the good, hear the negative thoughts and flip back to the positive, hear the limiting beliefs and flip to what you would prefer, and keep feeling as if you already have it, things can really start to change. So just for today, may you expect magic and miracles. May you stay happy, healthy, and wealthy. And may you continually ask, what's the best that can happen? And may the universe continue to show you. So we're going to move on to the next page, creating a winning self-image. So we understand now that the current version of you was created by the model of the world you grew up in. And so what you need is a new model. So let's design one. So I want you to pause and think about who are 2 to 3 people that are where you are already, or where you want to be already, that you would want to emulate, that you would happily trade places with. Who are 2 to 3 people, and why do you wish to emulate them? So what is it about them? This is going to help you get to the next part where we need to begin to embody, right? Because we attract who we're being. So we need to become the version of us with our goal achieved by first embodying it now. So we're not stuck in our minds out in the future from a state of seeking and a state of lack that we don't have it yet. We're not stuck in our minds in the past in fear, worry, and doubt, and that nothing's working out, or that, and we're not creating from past or current circumstances, we're going to start practicing being in the state of the goal achieved every day. And so it does require a conscious effort to continually ask yourself, would I have this thought, feeling, or action if the goal was already achieved? Would I act like this? Would I do this? Would I behave like this? Would I say this? Would I think this if I already had my goal achieved? And if the answer is no, then that will tell you why you're not getting the goal, because we really do need to be embodying it. So I'd love to see in the chat from everyone one thing, one person you wish to emulate and why. Of those top three, who's the number one person, and what's the number one thing that you would want to emulate about them? I love Danielle Amos's story. I watched her go from $100,000 in debt to becoming a multimillionaire. And she just got back from Africa, where she was working with the Unstoppable Foundation. She is one of their larger donors and sponsors a village there to make sure that every single child has their best chance. And I remember that being a dream when I had first started working with her. And then I remember when she first sponsored something, one of the communities for 25,000, and now it's something like 75,000. And now her and her daughter just went there and actually got to work with them and get to know the community that they've been supporting. Now I would trade spots with her. I would embody that. And so what do I love about her is her tenacity. I remember in the beginning, she wouldn't go to sleep unless she had done 5 asks a day. No matter what came her way, she's continued to push through, overcome, and give back. So not only provide for herself and her family and her loved ones and her clients, but also for the world and her community. And so absolutely love her. Had a dream the other day. We were hanging out, which was funny. and that's why I wish to emulate her. And the things I wish to emulate about her is her ability to increase her revenue, create financial freedom, and then get to a state where she can give almost as much as she earns or more, right? So wouldn't that be amazing? So let's hear from you guys. Who's somebody you wish to emulate and why? So you have to build a new model that you can emulate. Otherwise, you're literally creating from nothing. Now, as entrepreneurs, we create something from nothing. That's what we get to do. It's pretty amazing. And if you would like to have new results, you now get to create something from nothing by designing your own new self-image. But instead of pulling from the ether, why don't we pull from models around us? So Bob Proctor is one I always pull from, Wayne Dyer, Kelly Roach, Sandy Gallagher, Louise Hay, Abraham Hicks, and so many more. And I constantly asked myself, would they think like this? Would they behave like this? Would they do this? No? Okay. How would they do it? Oh, they'd have a solution-oriented mindset. They'd stay in positivity and possibility. They would take inspired action regardless. I love it. So Shabnam says, for her, it's Cynthia Kersey. She is the founder of the Unstoppable Foundation. Absolutely love her. I love that. And definitely somebody to pull from, definitely a model to build from. She created something from nothing, and they have an incredible global organization now giving back and taking care of the communities that haven't been provided for. So I love it. And this is what's going to help you. Now you get to learn more about them, watch them. What's their body language? How do they speak? What's their mannerisms? Speaking of Danielle Amos, my sister had mentioned that her husband, who was acting, he's an actor, and when I was studying with her, he'd come on and taught us a little bit about the art of acting, which is a really great book, by the way, if you want to check it out. It helps you understand method acting, so to embody the character. And she would say that when he was practicing one of his characters, he would embody them and he would walk around the house all day like that. So even the way he opened the door, the way he spoke to her, the way he held his body. And so yesterday I was watching, and now Jupiter's something, and I can't think of the name right now, because my sister had mentioned he's in it. And so it was super cool. I got to watch the episode, see his character in there, and it wasn't anything like the guy I know him to be, which was so cool. And he did such a good job. And that's what we get to do. So we get to now embody that new version of us. So it's kind of like acting, except movie is your life. This show is your life. And now you get to step into the person that you're co-creating instead of the person you've been conditioned to be. You get to live by design instead of default. And the first step is the awareness of all this information that we're sharing this week. That's why day one's all about awareness. And then the next is to get into plan, right? So you can think about it, but I want you to actually plan. So today, not only am I asking you to create it and write the plan on paper of who you're going to be, but we're actually going to start to look at some of the habits that we want to change and need to change and put into plan and put into play so that we can truly begin to embody that new version of us. So I will ask you, how can you be more like this today to embody that new you? And I'd actually love to see that in the chat from you guys, whether you're live here with us on Zoom or if you're on Facebook. I would love, love, love to see how you're going to embody that version of you today. And so maybe it is that you're going to be very peaceful with all those around you. Maybe it's going to be that you are going to be very giving with your time. Maybe it's going to be that you stand taller. I love it. So Jules says, Jill, her good friend, and she's going to be happy. She popped in. Hi, Jill. Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hi.
We're just going to drop the workbook for you in the chat here so you could grab that and follow along. Thank you so much for joining. We're just kicking off session 3. So we're in the middle of our lesson today. So if you grab that workbook, you can scroll down to session 3. And we are creating a winning self-image and working on who we wish to emulate and why. And if you haven't watched the lessons yet, just for everybody, a little housekeeping, replays are up until July 18th. So you do have until the 18th to watch this. And as long as you're registered, you get access to the replay page, and you can definitely watch them whenever you want. It clicks right to a YouTube link so that you can watch it right from your phone anywhere. And we do have a bonus session, 3 actions to level up your business. We have level 1, owning your awareness. Level 2, owning your thoughts. I'm trying to read chats, think and talk at the same time. And today is about owning your self-image. So Jules says, if I don't have a specific person, but a set of qualities rather. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, for sure. Why I say a person is in case somebody doesn't have those set of qualities in their mind, then they can look at someone they wish to emulate and pull the qualities from that person. If you already know what those qualities are, absolutely write them down. And then ask yourself, how can you be more like that today? So today I can be more positive and intentional with my time. I love it. Very good. And so being more positive and more intentional with our time looks like, and think a little bit deeper, what does that look like for you? Beautiful. And Jill, just give me a nod if you got that workbook and you are with us in section 3. Just give me a nod. Awesome. We want to make sure everyone's able to follow along. Now, it is a little bit of a larger workbook. And as Ren said yesterday, what you get here in this masterclass for free is pretty high level. And these questions can literally change your life if you allow them to. So yes, I do encourage you to go through the whole workbook. And even if you don't write it down, answer the questions mentally. And so we are on day 3, set your intentions. So far, we've written our top 3 desires for 2024. And then we started creating our winning self-image by asking ourselves what we believe is possible, What are the upper limits that we've reached? And then what we would prefer. So we identified our current state, we identified our upper limits, and then we decided what we would prefer. And now we just worked on starting to design and plan your own new self-image. So we picked things or people that we would like to emulate and why. So if you want to be a stronger leader, why do you want to be a stronger leader? And then I asked, how can you be more like this today? So this is part of the putting the plan into place. You're going to plan and then you're going to take some action. So I would like to ask you, and pause and think, what does the version of you on your vision board with all your dreams and desires met look like, feel like, act like, and think like? So this is going to be your one-page self-image script. It could be a paragraph, it could be a page. I just want you to get started. Of course, inside our Own It Collective and Success Principles Society, we do teach you more. We teach more in depth on how to write your self-image script, on how to create it. We also make a plan with our Quantum Leap Blueprint and a future diary. There's so much more and so many more steps we go into to teach you to take this to the next level. And right now, all I'm asking is that you simply begin to write out the script of that new version of you. And so what this would be is, imagine you had a book on your life and someone was to read me the character synopsis and to tell me about the character. So who you're being, how you're showing up every day. Are you showing up as that best version of yourself? Are you playing full out? Are we 1 foot in? Are we 1 foot out? We know that best version of us that's showing up every single day looks like, and I want you to write it down. So who is that version of you? So part of your homework today is to make a vision board. It's one of my favorite things to do, and not just a regular vision board. It's actually going to be a self-image mood board. And so you're going to go out and find pictures of how you would like to dress, how you stand, how you act, the places you go, the things you've acquired, the impact that you're having. And this mood board is going to be all about you, not just your goals. It's also going to be about you. So again, let's come back to it. Imagine you had a book. Someone wrote a book about your life. It was in front of you, and it's all the things you ever desired and everything all worked out perfectly. What is that character synopsis? How are you showing up? What does that look like? And then I want you to create a visualization that goes along with the script. So you have the script and the mood board. Okay, and I want you to have fun with this. Please, please, please have fun with this. This is one of the best things you will ever do for yourself. And after teaching this for over half a decade, I also know it is the one thing most people will avoid. And so if you find that this is the one part of the workbook you don't want to fill out, that's where your largest result is going to lie. So this is your own internal set point, your own upper limit. And we're going to talk exactly about what that is with psycho-cybernetics we talked about yesterday. So psycho-cybernetics means you have your own internal set point. So it's just like when a plane takes off, it has a destination, a landing. So it says, I'm going to go from Toronto to LA. So it puts in the destination for LA. And although there may be turbulence and it's off course sometimes, it will always move itself back. So it has an internal gyroscope and a cybernetics mechanism that is moving it back on course. So you decided you wanted to go to the goal over here, yet your internal set point is over here. And so you go to get the goal, although your thoughts, feelings, actions, and behaviors will unconsciously bring you back to that internal set point. So you may be there half the year and then something happens and you come back. And so you start to go for it again and then you come back. So this is why we need to change the belief system, which we worked on yesterday. And 2, you need to change your self-image. So I want everyone just to pause and close their eyes before we go into the three key concepts that I'll teach. I teach three key concepts at the end of each day. Before we go into that, I'd just like you to close your eyes and let's create a future memory together. So if you're driving, please keep your eyes open. And if not, please sit back and relax. Take 3 big deep breaths in the nose and out the mouth. What we're doing is just getting into the power now. Good, because the magic is in the now. So that goal you set out to achieve on day one, that big, hairy, audacious goal, that life purpose, you've achieved it. How are you celebrating? How do you celebrate your big, hairy, audacious goal achievement? Who's there with you? What are you wearing? How's your hair, makeup, jewelry, accessories, outfit? How are you standing? How are you presenting yourself? And what's different now that you've achieved this? And how are you different now that you've achieved this? Why are you grateful that you've achieved this? And what's one key thing? What is one key thing that you will know you've achieved it? Whether it's the amount of clients, the money, how do you know you've achieved it? Now, there's an incredible photographer that's working an incredible camera that's going to take a picture of all you guys, and it's a drone. And so at the celebration, everybody gets together and you're standing at the front, and the drone is going to go up and take a beautiful picture of all of you. And it's set up on Bluetooth and automatically airdrops it to everybody's phone and your digital picture frame and more. And now you get to look at it every day to remind you of how incredible you are, how far you've come, the person you've become, the person you stepped into, what you're capable of doing, the belief you built in yourself and your dreams and your abilities, and how you get to give back and truly get to live life on your own terms, happy and fulfilled. And you're just feeling so grateful now. And I want you to imagine that that is a picture, and you're going to step out of that. You're now in your home, and the picture's hanging on your wall. It's the day after. The celebration was amazing. How do you feel? Beside the picture is a mirror. You're going to step in front of the mirror, and you're going to look at yourself. What would you like to say to yourself? What would you like to thank yourself for? What is one thing this version of you knows that it wishes it knew a long time ago? That you are worth your dreams, that you are capable, worthy, and deserving, that you can co-create whatever it is you truly desire, that you are enough and you are worthy. And I want you to look yourself in the eyes in the mirror and tell yourself how much you love yourself and how grateful you are for all that you've done and all that you've become. And whenever you're ready, you can come on back into the now and back into the room. Beautiful. So now everyone has a picture of their celebration, of their goal achieved on their mind. Now I want you to write out, who was that person? Who were you being with your goal achieved? And I want you to start to embody it today. So how can you be more like that person today? And let's take a quick moment to go through our 3 key concepts, and then we have a special guest here for you today. So what is praxis? Praxis is the integration of your belief with your behavior. Okay, so you must believe it's possible, and you must take actions that are in alignment to tell the universe, see, I think it's possible. And so are your current actions in alignment with that big, hairy, audacious goal? Or are they in alignment with the old version of you? Are you making decisions from that current version of you or that future version of you? And we asked you that earlier this week in the masterclass. What beliefs and what habits do you need to change? What decisions do you need to change? And start making decisions from the goal achieved instead of from where you are now, so that we can get more of what we want and less of the same. So praxis is the integration of belief with behavior. And what is entering the spirit of it? So Entering the Spirit of It by Thomas Gerard is one of my favorite chapters from Your Hidden Power. And it's all about embodying the goal achieved and the version of you with the goal achieved. So the example I love to use for this is, have you ever seen an athlete show up to do a 100-meter race, smoking a cigarette, having a beer with no shoes on in their underwear or bathing suit? No, you haven't, because they fully embodied it. In fact, they work with a sports psychologist and they've already won the race a million times in their mind. So you need to embody it and you need to enter the spirit of it. And so I want you to treat your business like an athlete treats its sport. It's embodied winning every day, all day. In its mind, it's already got the gold medal. And so how can you see and embody and enter the spirit of the goal achieved today? So I already asked you, who do you want to emulate? What do you want to emulate? What do you want to be more like? And what would you be more like with the goal achieved? And how can you start acting like that today instead of someday? And that will allow you to begin to enter the spirit of it. And so what new beliefs and new habits would you like to implement into your life now that will move you closer to your goals? So I asked how you can be more like that today, and I heard I can be more positive and more intentional. And what's a new belief and a new habit that you can implement? So a new habit is, I'm hearing if we're going to be more intentional with our time, a habit is time blocking and knowing exactly what we're doing in that time block. And before we even take actions in that time block, we visualize the intended goal achieved and what we want the outcome to be. So that sounds like a really great new habit. What about a new belief that you would want to emulate? So maybe you found that previously most people maybe irritate you a little bit and you weren't always that positive, always, although you did your best. And so maybe a new belief is that I am a really positive, happy, joyful person. I am a kind and patient person. And I use this because I was quite ill-tempered as a child growing up. They say redheads are ill-tempered, yeah, but there was many other reasons. I actually had a dairy allergy and should not have been eating dairy. So for anyone out there, that is one of the side effects. But anyway, so I had to build a new belief that I wasn't angry all the time. Then I was post-concussion and I injured my temporal lobe, and which caused me to actually be angry all the time. And I had to go through some healing. And I have luckily in the right industry with the right friends who can just do sound wave healing and literally change my neurology in an hour. I'm so grateful for that. But a new belief was, and I'm going to read you my affirmation. I'm just going to say it because it's up here. I'm cool, calm, collected, courageous, kind, and always in the flow. I'm cool, I'm calm, and I am collected, courageous, kind, and always in the flow. Because old version of Heather was very A-type personality. You don't get it, that's your problem. I was very a little intense. Well, now I'm much more understanding and a much better coach. But that was a part of a conditioning I had to grow into. It was a belief I had to build. It was a version of me I had to step into. It required things like meditation, exercising, self-healing, because often what is triggered outside of us is actually just a stimulus of what we haven't healed within us yet. Right? So those are just opportunities to learn what is still unhealed within us that we may want to work on. And so what are some of the new beliefs and some of the new habits that you would like to implement into your life that will move you closer to your goals? And so the homework continues, it builds on each day. So day one is to be the observer of your thoughts. If you catch yourself not feeling good, your feelings are your compass. If you catch yourself not feeling good, you're going to reach for a better feeling thought, going into a state of gratitude. On day two, yesterday, we talked about reframing them. So not only are you going to flip to something you're grateful for, you're going to begin to reframe the thinking. The four-part reframing is first, we have to know what the contrast is, because that tells us what we don't prefer. Then we focus on what we do prefer. So that's a flip, an affirmation of now what it is that you want. You have to get the positive learnings from it. If you don't get what you need to learn from the experience, everything works in loops and patterns. So look for the patterns in your life. It will tell you what unhealed traumas you have. So you got to get the learnings, and then you've got to switch the energy that is stored in the emotions with it in the unconscious mind. So you have to switch from shame, fear, guilt, whatever those are, into gratitude. And so you must harvest the good and find something to be grateful for about the experience. And so that still requires us to what? Be an observer of our thoughts. Take the eagle eye perspective instead of being involved in our thoughts. The thoughts are always going to be there. It's just which one do you pick up and start making a story about? Right? They're always going to be there. You get to choose which one you get involved with, but you can only consciously choose if you're consciously aware. Most people are on autopilot and unconscious 98% of their life, which is unfortunate. So, unless they were given exceptional programming, which most people are not, unfortunately. So now day three, you keep going with day one and day two homework. And now you're going to do your self-image script and you're going to make a self-image mood board. So I just want to show you a couple of mine. So this is one of them. If you can see it, it's a version of me with my goal achieved. There's me on vacation. There's all the things. And then we've got, this is my goal board, which we would teach you how to make inside the program. So it's got your goals and what it allows. And these are the things that I get to look at every single day. Every time I touch my phone, every time I turn my phone, every time I look at my phone, it's all here for me. Okay, and this is incredible. Your mind thinks in pictures and it comes to pass. Environment is but our looking glass. So what pictures you hold on your mind the most of the time are what's going to be what you actually co-create in your environment. So let me say that again. The mind thinks in pictures and it comes to pass. The environment is but our looking glass. The environment is just to tell you, if you look around and tell you what your results are, it's where your thoughts, feelings, and actions have been previously. So if we want to look around and see a different thing in our environment, we have to to change the thoughts, feelings, and actions in the picture in our mind. And so you're going to write your new self-image script, whether it's a paragraph, a page, however long you want it to be. You can just start listing out things, changes that you'd like to see for yourself. And then I'd love you to see you start to make a vision board and a mood board of who you are being with that goal achieved and what you have with that goal achieved. So it's kind of like a self-image dream board. It's not only who you're being, it's also what that person is doing and having. So it's going to be the new you dream board, okay? That goes along with your self-image script. And of course, homework to complete the workbook. So now if you would like to keep this energy and momentum going, you're going to make sure you come back tomorrow. Tomorrow's session is not recorded, is not casted. Okay, it is a closed door, open house mastermind session and mixer. So you get to come introduce yourself, share your links, ask a question that gets support on from the community, and everyone is going to leave with an action they're going to take. Friday, we're back with our bonus heart-led sales training. And on Sunday, we're back with the Coles Notes recap. The recaps are up until July 18th. And today, we're going to invite you to come inside the Own It Collective and join us today because we have new bonuses. So the bonuses that we had yesterday, they have gone away now. Those fast action bonuses are gone. And so we have new bonuses just for this event. There are sign-up bonuses for the month of July, but there's ones just for this event. So we have a new orientation kickoff next Tuesday for the Own It Collective. And we have our next session for Success Principle Society next Wednesday. And so if you want to be live with us in either one of those programs, then you're going to want to jump in and get started with us now so you can get these bonus fast actions, sign-up bonuses, as well as join us on those calls. Now, if you have any questions and you're wondering, what is the Own It Collective? What is Success Principle Society? Maybe there's more, maybe I'm not ready for it yet, and you just want to learn more, you can go ahead and book a free consultation call with me. What we're doing is inviting you to come join us into our 6-month Own It Collective Self and Business Mastery Group coaching program, where we work on you and your business so that you can stop being your own upper limit in your life, your relationships, your health, and your business and your finances. We have a weekly group coaching call. You have access to 30 plus more trainings already. You get access to our accountability group chat. We have 2 new lessons a month with a co-working session and a mastermind session. Plus we have VIP events with special guests, mastermind mixers, and so much more. And for everyone who's joining us inside the Own It Collective, my gift to you is you're getting Success Principles for free. So Success Principles is only $337 or $57 a month. And so that's my gift to you. The Own It Collective, pay in full, is $3,330. Payment plan is $555 per month. This is Canadian dollars, taxes included. This is an incredible price for what you're getting. And I have a gift for you. So the sign-up bonuses that are available until Tuesday next week are, you're going to not only get the sign-up bonuses that are on the website. So when you pay in full, you get 2 90-minute coaching calls with me. And when you do the payment plan, you get a 45-minute coaching, 2 45-minute coaching calls with me. Now, for the rest of this event, we're going to add an extra bonus. So for anybody who pays in full, you're going to get the goal alignment session with me. So that's a value of over $1,200. So with that, plus Success Principles and more, you're going to get so much action packed just for signing up for the Own It Collective. And when you do the payment plan, not only are you going to get the 2 45-minute calls, you're going to get a bonus 45-minute calls. So you're going to get 3 45-minute calls, and that's a value of over $500 with Success Principles. We're going over $800 in bonuses for you guys. This is my gift to you. Okay, and I know I might have said that quickly, so maybe you want to make sure you catch the email that comes out later. It's in full detail there. Book a consultation call or just let me know more, okay? And I'm happy to serve you. Now, I want to thank our special guest who's waited patiently to come and share about her experience working with us. And we're going to bring Shabnam on now so she can tell you just quickly a little bit about what it's been like working with us and why she thinks you should come join us inside the Own It Collective. Collective. So thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you for having me here. Thank you
Of
so much.
course. First, please tell us more about you and what you do.
So I'm the founder and CEO of the Volunteer Well platform. It's a federally Canadian registered charity, and the aim is to connect people together with each other without the involvement of middlemen. And what we do at the platform is we celebrate the science of generosity, the law of giving and receiving, and what wonderful, profound impact it can have on us.
Love it. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm so excited for all that you're creating and all the people that you're supporting. And I just want to thank you for seeing a gap in the market and filling it to make sure that everybody is given their best chance.
Yes. That's the because if I look all around me right now, there are basically three major problems. One is that people are connecting with each other, but that is only at the superficial level. They are not deeply connected with each other, and that is only possible through the law of giving and receiving. And the second is people approach each other with boxes of discrimination, with what differentiates us rather than what unites us. And the third is in terms of people routing their help and support through a charity instead of directly seeking help from each other or offering help to each other. And that's what we are we are focusing to address in terms of these three aspects.
I love it. So getting rid of those discriminatory tier boxes, actually having people connect. I was listening to something this morning. They were talking about how they call it like the social generation, where we don't have any real connections. People think they have real connections. So they did an experiment. They're like, so you have 100,000 followers, whatever. We'll have a birthday party. One person came. So what are the real connections, right? And so I love that you're helping people get connected to each other, and not just through other avenues or devices, but actually with other people in the community. So I know you're doing an incredible job, and I just want to thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you so much to you and to obviously your Own It Collective. And I would really like to talk about the Own It Collective in terms of where I was when I joined the program. Uh,
Yeah, tell us.
so I have when I joined the program in March of this year, it was not a long time ago. It seems like ages. I was not clear in terms of the vision, the mandate, the strategy of the charity itself. But also in terms of the overall impact, there were many things that were not going well in terms of the charity. Our website had crashed with many fixes to be done at the back end. We were not clear in terms of where we are heading and how we are going to carry out our mandate. And that was not just on the charity side. There were many things happening on my personal side in terms of my different relationships, my relationships with my spouse, my relationship with my children, my relationship as a community member, even as a relative. I was not there in terms of, if I were to look at it, I was really leading a victim's journey in terms of focusing on the negatives, complaining about it, and just looking at what has happened in my life, and then somehow letting it reflect in my actions and my behaviors. There were many limiting beliefs that my well-meaning parents and society has inculcated in me since birth that I was not even aware of. So that was where I was in
Yeah.
terms of
And so much has changed now. So tell us where you are now. We were just sharing wins. We will share wins before we kick off in the Zoom room. And you were saying that the website is launching today. So tell us where we are now. And so much has changed, and I'm so proud of you.
Yes. So much has changed, and I am truly and utterly grateful to the Own It Collective and your impact in terms of each and everything, in terms of really clarifying what I'm going through, really making me an observer of my own beliefs, of my own thought patterns, and really being able to for helping me to transform these thoughts into the thoughts of gratitude. And these thoughts of gratitude have profound impacts on each and everything, whether it is in terms of my relationship with my spouse. And that's beautiful in terms of, so even when I'm thinking these thoughts of gratitude and I'm doing these habits on a daily basis, it is somehow reflecting in my aura with my spouse and my interactions with him, and it has improved profoundly. And this is just one part. In terms of the charity as well, there were these limiting beliefs that were pulling me down, that were the reason why I was not able to harness the power within, in terms of realizing what is possible and what can achieve. But now I'm working in the state of the goal achieved. And I'm doing that daily habits, and I have recorded my self image, and I'm listening to it twice a day at least, and I'm trying for the third time as well. I'll do that. So it has, I've gone from there to where I am in terms of clarity of my goal, clarity of my vision, finding my life purpose and living my life purpose in terms of dividing it into actions, and how I'm doing these on my daily basis.
Yeah, I'm so proud of how far you've taken the charity, the team you're growing, the leadership you're showing, the relationship improvements, and you always show up and you play full out. So I wouldn't expect anything less than the success that you've been achieving. And I know that you have gone through your rapid breakthrough. You're now in the Own It Collective, and we're doing our mastery mentorship, which means we're doing a full timeline therapy breakthrough as well as business mastery mentorship one-on-one together. So you've got the full package, and I'm seeing the massive results. And when we actually make those belief switches in the unconscious mind, it's incredible. And when we get access to the community and the skill set and the accountability and the ideas that we get from everybody, I believe it's truly priceless. What do you think's the one thing that has been your biggest win so far?
I think the biggest win for me is me being a magnet of just the right people, places, and opportunities. I'm into that that space of vibration where I'm attracting the right, the really aligned opportunities and places and people. It's like I'm in that frequency, in that vibration where I'm a magnet for all of these. Yes. So if I look at the one of the biggest win is this in terms of, um, so whoever I'm meeting, whatever opportunities are coming my way, they are so perfectly aligned that at times I wonder. It's like wow. It's like you're asking the universe on a daily basis what's best that can happen, and the universe always responds. It's so beautiful. It's so profound.
I love it. And it does respond when you are in alignment with that energy. And so you are owning your state, you're owning your energy, your actions, your attitude, and you're attracting the right people, places, circumstances, and opportunities to achieve all you need with ease. And it gets better and better with more practice. So I'm so proud of you. And that is such a good win to have things work out smoothly. Yeah, absolutely. And what would be one of the biggest things you've learned or implemented so far that's had the biggest impact?
I think the biggest impact is the habit tracker. So in terms of the way that has worked really profoundly for me is in terms of coming up with my big, hairy, audacious goal, and then coming up with 10-year, 5-year, yearly, quarterly, weekly, and monthly, and then dividing it into daily, and then looking at 2 habits at a time, on personal, on a professional or charity side, as well as looking at daily gratitude and the self-care routine. So that habit tracker has, I think, has worked wonder in terms of integrating the vision to the action in terms
Yeah.
of, that's beautiful. That's so
I love that you say that because it's the little mundane things that compound over time to equal the success. And what we do is we use our quantum leap blueprint to cast out our vision and then to reverse engineer into the actions. And then we actually break it into the habits that will help us breed those results. And we put that into the habit tracker. We know whatever we track improves. And this is literally us stepping into the daily actions of embodying that new version of us. And the more we use it, the more things improve. And that is the slight edge philosophy. It's little mundane things compound over time to equal success. And so I always like to say, ooh, habit tracker, not so sexy and exciting, yet it does help breed quantum leaps. So I'm so glad that you said that's one of the biggest things to make the impact for you. I love that.
Yes, it is, for sure.
And what would you say is your advice to people who are interested in joining the Own It Collective?
Yes, so my advice is that in terms of the impact the Own It Collective has done on me, it is like you cannot boil it down in terms of numbers and dollars and expenses. The value for money is huge. So if you are in a space where you are either looking for life purpose or you have a life purpose in mind, but you don't know how to get there, this is the place for you. It is something that is like I cannot express in terms of the value, the huge colossal value for money that this program is providing to me and it can provide for you. So if you are in the space where you want like you have life dreams and you want to reach those life dreams, but you don't know how to go there. Or if you're in a space where you are stuck in a loop of of trying to go somewhere and are not able to go there, this is the place. And I know there are many other programs out there that are being offered, but they are much, much, much expensive. So if you're thinking of starting an entrepreneur journey, even for me, I had been looking for a coach. Every successful person, every successful entrepreneur has a coach. And if you're going for a coach, I think Heather provides the best value for money. She's amazing in terms of what she has achieved, and she has spent years and years of going through those certification and courses herself so that she can offer this program to us in a really great, compact, concise manner. And it's beautiful. It's profound.
Wow, well, thank you so much for your kind words. And it really is the return on investment, right? The price is one thing, but the return on investment is priceless, right? Because the knowledge that you're gaining inside the Own It Collective can last you a lifetime. We're teaching you the skill set, regardless if we're in a recession or a boom, regardless if it's this business or another business, you can use the same skill set and high performance habits that we're teaching you to last you a lifetime. So we're really building you and your business from the ground foundationally all the way up, so that no matter where we need to pivot, the skill set will always be there with us. And that's really the idea, is to set you up for success for always.
Yes, that's true. And not only in terms of the ideas that are sort of imparted, it's also in terms of the all-out support for business, whether it is in terms of the brainstorming session, in terms of the working group, in terms of connections. So it's starting from the inner work to the outer support, and it's huge. And I agree, it's priceless. So for hardly like $500-$600 a month, you get to have something that is going to change your lives. In fact.
I love it. So guys, I dare you, bet on you, jump inside the program today. I will drop the links there for you guys in the comments, and keep your eye on the emails. And if you're not registered yet for the masterclass, you still can. The replays are up. We still have more bonuses. Come back and join us. And thank you, Shabnam, so much for joining us today, for sharing with us. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
Nothing. I have shared almost all everything, but what I would my advice to everyone would be, think of this as your investment into your life. It's only one life that we are given, right? We have to make the most of it.
I
That's
love it. Invest into you and make this an investment for the rest of your life. You heard it from Shabnam. So thank you so much for your energy today. We really appreciate you, and may your success keep thriving. And I can't wait to see you at the top. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. All right, guys. So you've heard from our guests, you've heard from ourselves. We've had so much more still happening. So open house mastermind tomorrow, bonus heart-led sales Friday. We have the Coles Note recap on Sunday, and replays are up until the 18th. So thank you to our guests who have shared. We're so grateful and so appreciative of you, and we're so proud of you. And just a reminder, we'll see you all inside the Own It Collective, or or see you back tomorrow for our open house mastermind mixer. So thank you so much. Remember, stay happy, healthy, wealthy, expect magic and miracles, and what is the best that can happen? We'll see you soon. Thank you.